Okay, we want to write these into scientific notation. So scientific notation always puts the decimal so that there's only one digit in front. Now, we know that this number is small. It's going to have a negative power. We know that this number is large. It's going to have a positive power. Okay, so I'm just going to count how many spaces it gets, so I already know it's going to be 3.72. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 4 spots to get there. Since it's small, it's to the negative 4. See, that means 372, if we go left 4, is that number. This one has to be 1.9. Okay, so right there's the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it needs to be a large number, so it's a positive power. Okay, the next one is a large number. It's going to be a positive power. We've got to get the decimal right there to 5.49823. Okay, so right there it is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved it 5 spots to get there, so times 10 to the 5. This is also a large number, so it will be a positive power, and I can say I need to move it 2 times. So it's 4.23415, and we moved it 2 times. This is also a large number, so it's going to be positive. So I want to get it to right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4 power, so it's 1.0, or just 1, times 10 to the 4 power. 19 is a large number. Okay, so I got to get the decimal right there. Well, that's only 1 spot move, so it's 1.9, and I moved it 1 spot. Okay, this negative doesn't mean anything. That just means on the number line it's back here at -8. So that's not a power kind of a negative. That's not a small number negative. So how many spaces do we move it? None. So we're going to say times 10 to the 0 moves. We didn't have to fix that one, so to make it scientific notation, we just say there was 0 moves there. Now here's a small. So this is going to be to the negative power, 10 to some negative power. Okay, I want to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2.9, but that negative is a negative 2.9. That's not this negative. That means the number line negative. How many times do we move it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be to the -6. That means this negative means it's a small number. Okay, now go the other way. Standard notation means regular numbers. That means it was going to be a small 5 times. Move this 5 times to the left. 1, that puts it in front of the 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros in front of it. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. This 3 means move it 3 spots to the big side. 1, 2, 3. That leaves room for 1 extra 0, so it was 7730. This means don't move it at all. So if we don't move it at all, it just stays right where it is. It means move 0 times. Okay, this negative is on the number line. This negative is a move. So I'm going to move it smaller 1. So smaller 1 puts it in front of that 5. So that negative means it's a number line kind of a negative. And then we have 0.555. This one means move it to the big. This is the decimal mover, and this is just the number line. So 1 spot, and then 1, 2, 3 more. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there was room for 3 extra zeros. So it was -2, 3, 1, 2, 3 extra zeros. Negative 23,000. The negative on the number is the number line negative. The negative on the power is which way you move it. We're moving it smaller. Okay, so this 7, there's the invisible decimal, so it means move it 7 places bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means there's 7 zeros on there. So 10 million is what that ended up being. Okay, so the power just means which way you move the decimal. The negative on the number means where are you on the number line. So there's two different things. Okay, the idea here is to have your brain go back and forth between all of the rules. Addition is kind of like a fraction. When we have fractions, 2/3 plus 7/3, okay, we can do that. That's 9/3. As long as we're the same, we can add. So addition requires sameness. Well, these are both 18, so we're good. Notice on a fraction, when you get it the same, that's what the answer is in terms of the 3 and a 3 becomes a 3. We don't add those bases together. We are not going to add these bases together. It's just going to be 3 plus 5, and then we know what the base is. It's 18. So as long as they're the same, we can add them together. Okay, so that first one was pretty easy, but if they are not the same, we cannot add them together. We have to get them to be the same. We either have to go to, I have to make this one a 5 or this one a 6. Most people would like to have the bigger power. It doesn't matter which one. So if I make this a 10 to the 6, I moved that 5 one spot up the number line. That means I'm going to move this decimal one spot backwards on the number line. So it's going to turn this 6 into a 0.6. So we have 0.6 plus 5. Okay, 0.6 plus 5 is 5.6 times 10 to the 6. See, once we get them the same, that's what it is. We can have a 6 and we can add a 6. As long as their bases are the same, we can just add the numbers. Just like over here, when the bases were the same, we just add the numbers. Okay, multiply. See, we always do what we're supposed to do to the numbers. 5 times 6 is 30. And then the bases are one number under that. So multiply goes down to add as far as exponents are concerned. So we're going to add these powers. 5 plus 6 is 10 to the 11. Now we have to fix that. So that's got to go one spot to the left, so the power will go one spot to the right. So we have 3.0 times 10. 11, one spot to the right, is 12. Okay, division. Division goes with subtraction on PEMDAS. Okay, so I'm going to subtract these so that it's always the top minus the bottom. Top minus the bottom. So the power is going to be 11 minus 5. So that's going to be a 10 to the 6. So that part we can do in our head. This part we might need a calculator for. You actually do, just like over here, we did what we were supposed to do. We did 6 times 5. Well, here we're going to do 9 divided by 3. We don't need a calculator for that because 9 divided by 3 is 3, and we don't have to fix that one. So you do what you're supposed to do, but then the exponents you do one level less. Divide means subtract. Multiply means add. And then power means multiply. So here, this 5 on top of that 7 is going to be a 10 to the 35 power. Now here we might need a calculator for that. We need 4 to the 5 power. That means 4 to the 5 power. That means 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Or we get to our machine and we just ask it, what is 4 to the 5 power? 4 to the 5 power is 1024. So 4 to the 5 power, 1024. But now we have to fix that. So here's the decimal. I got to move it 3 places that way. So it's going to be 1.024. If the decimal goes 3 that way, the power goes 3 that way. So on the number line, 35, 3 more that way is 38. Okay, so our brain just had to go through all, these are the 5 kinds. Add when they're the same, add when they're different, multiply, divide, and power. There are 5 things. So this worksheet does those 5 things 4 times each. So let's look at the next one. Look, we want us to add same powers. Okay, so we know we're going to end up with the same power. It's going to end up with 10 to the negative 5. And then we're going to add 5 plus 8. So 5 plus 8 is 13. Okay, I got to fix 13. That's too big, so I'm going to move the decimal 1 to the left, so that goes 1 to the right. So we have 1.3. Okay, think of a number line. 1 bigger than negative 5 is not negative 6. Here's the number line. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're out here somewhere, and we want to go 1 to the left. That's negative 4. All right, so now the next one is we want to add different bases. So this is the only one where you can't just jump knowing where you can't do it in your head right away. Because for multiply, we can just jump. We're going to add those together. That's going to be times 10 to the 4. For divide, we can just jump. That's going to be 18 minus 5. We already know what the 10 power is. And over here, power, we're going to multiply. That's going to be 10 to the 40th, negative 40th. The only one you can't do that right off the bat is when you add different things. It's like adding fractions. Addition and subtraction have to be the same. So I've got to either make the negative 7 a negative 8 or make the negative 8 a negative 7. It doesn't matter which one, so I think I'll just pick this first one. I'm going to turn that into 10 to the negative 8. Okay, here's the number line. I'm sitting at negative 7, and I went to negative 8. See, that was going this direction 1. I went this direction 1 to fix it. That means this decimal has to go that direction 1, which makes it a 39. So really I have 39 times 10 to the 8 plus 9.2 times 10 to the negative 8. Now I can add them. I know my answer is times 10 to the negative 8. And now we just have to do 39 plus 9.2. Well, you either do that in your head or you have a calculator. So we can use calculator for addition also if you want to. 39 plus 9.2, it's 48.2. 39 plus 9.2. See, it's 48.2. Okay, so this part is 48.2. Well, that would be good, except we have to fix it, so I'll go 1 that way, so it's really going to be 4.82. That means this one has to go 1 that way. Well, here's our same number line. We're at negative 8, and if we go 1 that way, we're at negative 7. So when you move the decimal, you move the power. So those are the hardest ones. Everybody else, you just apply the rules. Multiply, the powers add. So I already know this is going to be a negative 5 plus 9. So our answer is going to be times 10 to the 4. And now I'm just going to use my machine for the rest of it. 7 times 2, whatever that is. So I need 7.67 times 2.63. That gives us 20.1721. And now all we have to do is fix it, which is why we should be good at fixing, hopefully. 1 that way, that means the 4 is going to become a 5. So it's 2.01721 times 10 to the 5. Okay, you'll have to show me these in-between steps. I just don't want a bunch of answers. I want to see these in-between steps. Division. Division goes with subtraction, so I'm going to subtract these. Now, some people will subtract that and they see 13. That's not 13. It's 18 subtract negative 5. 18 subtract negative 5 is 23. If you're not sure, get out your calculator. 18 subtract negative 5. 18 subtract negative 5 is 23. Okay, so I already know it's times 10 to the 23 power. Now all I have to do is this, 8 divided by 2. Well, I don't need my machine for that. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And 4, it's already fixed. That one doesn't need fixing, so there's no in-between step. Power to a power is multiplied. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. So I already know this one is negative 40. Now I've got to do this part. This is what my machine is for. I need 5.1 to the 8 power. I don't know what that is, so I'll use my machine. 5.1 to the power 8. Okay, I'm going to round that somewhere. I think I'm just going to round that to 45. So 45769.45. So I've got 45769.45. All right, that's way too big. I've got to move this decimal all the way to there. So let's count it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 this way. There's the number, 5 this way. That means the negative 40 has to go 5 this way. Now let's think about a number line. Where is negative 40? See, negative 40 is way back there. I'm going 5 this way. That puts it at negative 35. Okay, the next one, addition and subtraction are the same thing. They got to have the same base, which this does. So I already know this is going to be 10 to the 7. Addition and subtraction have to be the same. And then I'm just going to do 7 minus 3. Well, that one doesn't need fixed, no middle step. But look at this one, addition. They're not the same. Okay, so I'm going to turn this 8 into an 11. So that it matches that one. That means I moved it that way 3. That means this decimal moves this way 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.021. And then this is still 52 times 10 to the 11. So I got them both into times 10 to the 11. So now I know my answer is times 10 to the 11. So it's 52 plus this. Well, that's just going to be 52.021. And we're done, except we have to fix it. So that has to go one spot this way, so the 11 will go one spot that way. One spot more than 11 is 12. And then this one puts the decimal right there, 5.2021. Okay, multiplication. Multiplication means add the powers. So 45 plus 25. 45, 55, 65, 70. I already know it's going to be times 10 to the 70. And then I'll use my machine to do the multiply. I need 8.2 times negative 2.6. 8.2 times negative 2.6 is negative 2132. Okay, see, this is a large number. That negative means it's a negative on the number line. This one means move the decimal 70 times, so there's 68 zeros after that. So it's 2132 with 68 zeros. Okay, but I'm going to fix it, so it's really negative 2.132. If I go that way once, the 70 has to go that way once, turning it into 71. Division means subtract, so I'm going to subtract top minus bottom, negative 9 minus negative 13. That is 4, because minus minus makes plus. It's really negative 9 plus 13, so I already know it's times 10 to the 4. And then I need to do the divide part. 3 divides 6. 3 divides 6 is 0.5. 3 divides 6, it's always the top one divided by the bottom one. So we have 0.5 times 10 to the 4. Well, that point has to be there. So I'm going to move it 1 this way, so the 4 goes 1 this way. So it becomes 5 times 10 to the 3. Power is multiply, so I'm going to multiply the powers. Negative 3 times negative 3, so I already know it's 10 to the 9. And now I'm going to use my machine for this. I need 5.131 to the negative 3 power. Okay, so I'll just put that in my machine. 5.131 to the negative 3 power. 0.0074. Okay, 0.0074. And the last step is to fix it. So that's the in-between step. Now fix it. 1, 2, 3 that way. So we have 7.4. And then 1, 2, 3 that way makes 6. Okay, subtraction. I got to have same powers. Okay, good, I do. So I already know it's going to be times 10 to the negative 4. And now in my machine, I'm just, see, I don't even have, since we have our machine, I don't even have to really line this up. It's 6.7 minus 8.3. 6.7 minus 8.3 is negative 1.6. Okay, awesome. That's just perfect. I don't have to fix that one. See, that negative is on the number line. So on the number line, that means it's left of 0. That negative means it's small. It's a small decimal, because it's really 1 over 10 to the 4th. So we're multiplying it by a very small decimal. So that means it's left of 0. That means it's a small decimal. That means it's a number like up here, a small decimal number, like something like that, or something like that. See, a negative means it's a small decimal. A positive means it's a large decimal. Okay, next one is addition, so they got to be the same. Well, look, they're not the same, so I have a problem. So I think I'll make them a 2 here. So I'm going to move this one to a 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's at negative 4, and I want to move it to become a 2. So I'm moving it 6 places that way. So I'm changing this one times 10 to the 2. Well, if I go 6 to the right, that means this decimal's going 6 to the left. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That puts it in front. 4, 5, 6. That leaves spaces for 3 zeros in front of that. So it's 0, 0, 0, 3, 3, 6. And then this one is 142 times 10 to the 2. So now they're both 2's. So now I can go ahead and add them up. So it's 142 plus this. Well, that's just going to be 142.000336. All right, but I got to fix it, so I got to go 2 more this way, which means that's going to go 2 more that way. So it makes this 10 to the 4, and this is 1.420000336. Okay, multiply means add, so I'm going to add the powers. Negative 10 plus negative 8. So I already know it's times 10 to the negative 18 power. And then we do the multiply. So negative 7 times negative 9 is 63, positive 63. If you're not sure, you can type it in your calculator. Negative 7 times negative 9. Negative 7 times negative 9, positive 63. Okay, but we got to fix that, so I got to move that left 1, so we have 6.3. Means the negative 18 is going right 1. Okay, again, think about what that is on the number. The negative, sometimes you got to think about. See, there's negative 18. And we're trying to go to the right 1. That puts it at negative 17. Division is subtract. 3 subtract negative 8. 3 subtract negative 8 is positive 11. If you're bad at that, put it in your calculator. 3 subtract negative 8. And then this part definitely is going to go in. Negative 9.2 divided by 2.8. Okay, negative 9.2 divided by 2.8. is negative 3.29. I'll call that 329. So we've got negative 3.29. Okay, great. That one doesn't have to be fixed. We're done. No in-between step. All right, this last one, it's a power to a power. So how are we going to, we got a power to a power means multiply. So we got to do 12 times 3/4. Well, we could just go 12 times 0.75. That would be it. So it's 9. So we already know that the power is going to be times 10 to the 9. And I'm going to use my machine to do this other part. 3.25 to the power 3/4. Okay, doesn't even matter if we know what that means. We just have a machine. I need 3.25. So 3.25 to the power 3/4 gives us 2.42. And sure enough, that one's already done, so there's no in-between step, and we have it. So it doesn't matter if it's a fraction, the rules are the same. Power is multiply and then do the calculator. Division is subtract, do the calculator. Multiplication is add, do the calculator. Addition has to have the same base, so we got to fix it and then just add them